Hey, 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 everybody. Happy Thursday. It is your girl, CWall here. Y'all, let's get it going. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Waiting for y'all to join me. It is our favorite day of the week. It is Thursday. It is coaching from the couch time. Come on in, come on in, come on in. How's everybody doing? I want y'all to check in and let me know how y'all are doing. Check in, check in, check in. Saying what's up to everybody. And as you all are coming in and joining, as always, my favorite girl in the world, my mama, is watching. My mother is watching, y'all. So everybody say what's up to my mom. Hey there, Mom. I see my guy, Chris Childs. What's up, Chris? That's neighborhood fam right there. All the way, neighborhood fam. I see Angel. Of course, I see Cameron Mingo. See my guy, Jason Ayers. It's high school family right there. You guys, we have a long list, a jam-packed show as always. So much to discuss in DC sports because I got to bring this saying back. I got to bring this back. When is there a dull moment in DC sports? That would be never. Never, ever, 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 ever is there a dull moment in DC sports. You guys, I want you to make sure you are sharing the show with your DC sports loving family and friends to get them involved in the live discussion. Of course, you can always go back and watch the show later, but it's always more fun with friends, right? Isn't it? At least it is for me. I love talking to y'all. You all, I see that the originator has joined the virtual couch, coaching from the couch. Everybody say what's up to CWall sports writer Sherrod, the originator, Oliphant. Sherrod is in the building. So look, y'all, we got a lot we got to talk about. We're going to go ahead and try to go head on and get the show rolling because there's some overall DC sports I definitely want to get into. Want to do a high level, do a quick Mystics update. Got to do a quick Caps update, a quick Wizards update, or as Sherrod loves to still call them, the Bullets. So let's just... do I need to say that we're going to talk about the Washington football team? Do I need to tell y'all that we're going to talk about the undefeated Washington football team? That's right. I call them undefeated because that's what they are. Okay? We're going to ride this one out, honey. We're going to ride this one out. We're going to ride this 1-0 all the way out. Okay? Because that's absolutely what they are. They're undefeated. All right? And we're going to make sure we're going to talk about that because guess what? I'm gonna keep it. I got to do these other DC sports first, y'all. But at the same token, listen, what they're not going to do to us, what these fans of these other NFL teams are not going to do to us is try to make us feel bad for being happy that our team won. I'm tired of it. Why we gotta feel bad? Why must we feel guilty for rejoicing and being happy for once? Okay? We're not standing for that. Okay? 1-0, undefeated, the number one team in the NFC East. It doesn't, yes, it's week 1. Everybody else lost, and the Washington football team won. Where is the lie? Where's the lie? There are no lies. What I just said was all truth, okay? So next time you see a little hating fan from another NFC East team, you let them know who's number 1, okay? Who's number 1, all right? Until further notice, who's number 1? I had to get that off my chest before we get down to business, because I've been seeing a lot of hate being thrown our way. And I'm like, wait a minute. We have a right to be happy. Okay? We do. We seriously do. Okay. Now, are y'all sharing the show with your DC sports loving family and friends? Because I guarantee you, you want your DC sports loving family and friends in on this discussion. And I need to know that y'all are in the building, so make sure y'all throw me a like emoji, a love emoji, so that I know that you're in the building. All right. Gotta say a straight up shout out to my girls, WNBA, the reigning champs. Although they're out of it, the Washington Mystics, I definitely want to say a shout out to the Washington Mystics. They at the last kind of end of this season, they were making a run for the playoffs, and they were so, up and down. They had a really strong start, and then it started going downhill, and then they picked it back up again. So we have to just give them a shout out. They did lose the other night to the Phoenix Mercury, so they have been eliminated from playoff contention. So we still just want to give them a shout out. They were still the reigning champs, right? And although the team looked a lot different, they started to gel, and they were making it happen. They were making it happen, but they were eliminated from the playoffs on Tuesday night by actually a former Washington Mystic, Shea Petty. And it was kind of bittersweet, because although Shea did a tremendous job in that game, Shea was also, like I said, a former Washington Mystic and had been released from the team earlier in the season. So I just got to still shout them out, because, again, it was a completely different team. So... but you always got to have hope. And you saw this young team still try to gel and try to make it happen, and it just did not happen. Just did not happen. So we'll see for next season, but it's still going to be running back, still a magical last year's season. And don't worry, y'all, because we still the District of Champions, okay? Washington Mystics, your 2019 WNBA champions. So I got to give my girls a shout out on that. The Washington Capitals have a new coach. Peter, I've been trying to get his name right all week. Laviolette. Peter Laviolette is the new head coach of the Washington Capitals. And I'm just going to say this flat out. I think I still feel some type of way because they fired Barry Trotz. Now that I've gotten that off of my chest and said that, then, I mean... I don't know what to say. This was a disappointing season. I know many fans, myself included, were not happy with Todd Reardon. Obviously, the Capitals organization was not happy with him, so he has been replaced already with Peter Laviolette. And all I can say is we'll see what happens. Just a little bit about Laviolette's background. For those that don't know, he has won a Stanley Cup championship in 2006 with the Carolina Hurricanes. Coached two teams that made it to a Game 6 of the Stanley Cup final. So here we are seeing the Capitals try this again, just 2 years out of winning the Stanley Cup. And because they're still... having this question at head coach immediately after winning a Stanley Cup, it's just very unfortunate to me, as far as I'm concerned. Whatever could have gone down and could have been worked out between Ted Leonsis and Barry Trotz, I feel like it should have been absolutely worked out, given they were coming off of a Stanley Cup. Because in my opinion, after a magical year as it was back in that 2017-2018 season, there is no way that we should be debating and talking and already on to another head coach after that. So we'll see how it goes. I know many of you have been very disappointed at the Cap season. They just didn't look like they were there. The Todd Reardon just didn't get these guys fired up. And here's the reality. We have a team that's not so young anymore in the Capitals. So it'll be interesting how Coach Laviolette can get them fired up and get them ready to go. Because seeing them getting bounced out of the first round wasn't cool. So wanted to give that update. It remains to be seen. Let's see what happens, and we'll go from there. I got to shout out my fellow sister in sports, Alexis Hutchinson. What's up, girl? And fellow DC sports fan, Tina Moore. What's up? What's up? And of course, we got to always say what's up to CWall team member Frenika, who's also my line sister, y'all. So come on in the room. Come on in the virtual couch, because now I have to move on. Quick update on the Wizards. Go ahead and get out whatever you need to say. Whatever you need to say about Bradley Beal not making all NBA. Whatever you got to say about Bradley Beal not making all NBA, go ahead and let that fly. Let that fly. Let that fly. Go ahead and get that off of your chest right now, while I am congratulating Rui Hachimura on making the All-NBA, the second rookie team. So Rui Hachimura, he's great feedback. Had a great season. He is just the third Wizards player to get this honor since 2004. So I mean, I guess it was John, it was Brad, now it's Rui. So congratulations to Rui. I don't really have much more to say than that. I mean, I think it's well deserved. So I'm happy that he did get recognized. At least somebody on the Wizards got recognized, right? But that Bradley Beal snub was a beast. And here's the thing. I don't understand. I know folks say, well, it's because the Wizards had such a terrible season and they're losing. Hey, look, can we all just be honest about something while we coaching from the virtual couch here? The only reason why the Wizards had an opportunity to go to the bubble is because of Bradley Beal. So yes, the team is absolutely trash. But the only reason why they even had an opportunity was because of him. So I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. We're talking about a player that averaged more than 30 points per game. The only other player in this season that averaged more points per game than Bradley was James Harden. So it was a complete snub. It was a complete overlook. And hey, look, that's tough. That's tough right there. Like, come on. You can't make this exception for this incredible feat that he has done. Hey, look, I understand the whole, the team is just not good. You're right, they're not. But Bradley Beal was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely tremendous. You could not have asked him to do any more than what he did with a not so good team and a not that great coach. So did everyone get that out of their system? Because I did want to address that. We had to congratulate Rui because we are excited for him and happy for Rui. But we did I had to say, look, y'all know daggone well what Brad did was phenomenal. It's the best that we've seen him. Very proud of him. Great to know him. Glad he's on the team. But that sucked a little bit. So, hey. Like Chris said, I'm still mad. I know that's right, Chris. Me too. We can be mad together then, brother. Because I was like, that's sad. That's sorry right there. All right. Washington football fans, it's your time. It's your moment. I need all of the Washington football fans to check in. I need you to give me a love or a like emoji so that I know you are here. I know you are paying attention. I know you are attentive. I know that you are still excited about the win on Sunday. While you are checking in and talking with your fellow fans on the chat here, I'm still trying to figure out where I want to go with this conversation. I have my notes here, of course. I mean, I want to do my overall takeaways from Sunday's game. I want to talk about the offense. I want to talk about the defense. Had an opportunity to check out the Arizona Cardinals film and look at them, and just do a little bit more research on the Cardinals, because I think it's important, and y'all gonna hear me continue to say this, that you have to beat your opponent for that Sunday, right? So things can change, things can shift. Just gotta, focus on that opponent. Definitely want to talk about all the great things that I saw from Sunday. The biggest takeaway from me, it was actually a couple things. Let me first address the bold predictions from last week, because we want to get into bold predictions for this coming game as well. Many of you, I think Cameron, I know John Adams, many of you said, Chase Young was going to get his first NFL sack. He absolutely did. The defense was going to get like 6 or 7 sacks on Carson Wentz. The defense got 8. It was a lot of great predictions. I have to say what my most favorite prediction was. My most favorite prediction is by a huge Washington football fan. I call him Mike S. Mike S. said it real plain and simple. A Washington win and no major injuries. And we talked about it last night. And my sister Joy will tell you, we started playing on it. Hey, listen, if we can get out of this game with a win and no major injuries, ooh. And they did just that. They did just that. My biggest takeaway, I remember we were watching the game on Sunday, and I said, halftime game, because much of what was going on in the first half was more of the same. I saw the same team from last year. I said, oh my gosh, this is the same team from last year. Help us, somebody, please. My biggest takeaway, because when halftime came up, I said, oh, this is the moment that I'm waiting for. I wanted to see, will they have halftime adjustments? Will we see a different team in the second half? And I was like, you know what? We did. We did. That is what my biggest takeaway. In previous years, that team would have lost 42-0 in a previous year, okay? The team responded with maturity, and we saw the coaching staff make the correct adjustments. And we saw adjustments from play to play. Now, I was looking for it in the half, and they came back and they responded. I saw so many folks that said, well, Philly had this person hurt and that person hurt. Okay, you're absolutely correct. If we want to be absolutely real about it, because we're going to get to the injury report in a second. I see a few comments about the injury report. If we really want to get down into the nitty gritty, and y'all know how I like to say the nuts and bolts of it, if we want to get down into it, you're absolutely correct. Philly had 2 O-linemen out. Philly had a running back out. So the defense did what you're supposed to do. Eat. I mean, that's what we did. I mean, what's somebody supposed to do? Feel sorry for them? Because they out, they hurt? Doesn't matter. If that's the case, then the team is doing exactly what the team should do. Exactly what the team should do. And no one should feel bad about that or think anything about it. You did what you're supposed to do. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I really did. Haskins, here's what I liked. Going back to halftime, I really, truly enjoyed hearing about Haskins making the halftime speech. And I enjoyed hearing that. That goes to show he is taking on the role of the leader, and that's exactly what a leader does. So I was absolutely ecstatic to hear that he gave the halftime speech. I also really liked about Haskins. He didn't cost the team the game. Did he have the best day ever? No, he did not. He did not have the best day ever. So, and that's okay, because he also didn't have the worst day ever. He did not cost the team the game. I like that. Here's where I can see, okay, here's where there needs to be some work and some growth. And that's all we got to do, right? I mean, we've seen some quarterbacks that were not that great, but the team did what they were supposed to do, but they didn't cost the team anything. They didn't lose the game for the team. There were no turnovers, so that's what you do. I'm all good with that. Where I saw some, is what some may call the happy feet, which is he's not setting his feet to throw the ball, so that impacts the accuracy of his throw. Now, that could be because of the O-line, or it could just be an area of growth. Either way, the team came out with a W, and Haskins still has an opportunity to get better. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I tell myself, I said, okay, we can watch this team. I'll wait till about week 4 or so to really make an assessment. I thought about it some more. I went back and watched the game some more. I said, I'm gonna give about to the half of the season, especially for Haskins, because it's in there. It's there. And when all of the pieces come together, he's going to truly be something special. But to go back to the things that I liked, I felt like I saw a more mature football player. And I saw that evolution of becoming a leader. I saw better decision making. Was it absolutely perfect? Nope. By no means was it at all. Like I said, he didn't have a great game. No way. But considering we're talking first 4 games, it's like the preseason. But hey, at least at this point, the team didn't win a preseason game on Sunday. The team won a regular season game. So we're going to take that. And we're going to take that understanding that there's still areas of growth that is needed. In several areas. Several areas. The offensive line. I'm going to tell you. When I went back and looked at the game, because, the O-line wasn't looking there. I wasn't impressed, right? But I will say this. Brandon Sheriff and Morgan Moses had solid games. It's the best I've seen them look in a long time. At least for me. I said, okay. They held up. Again, nobody fell out. Nobody had to get carted off. Neither one of them are on the injury report. So my next I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm again, each week, did what needed to be done for Sunday's game and got the W. I'm okay with that. The running backs. Tina, I already saw that you said got to get the run game going. I'm going to let you all decide on what you think about the run game. I definitely see what the coaching staff saw in Antonio Gibson. Absolutely. But it's just something about that run game. I was just like, they got to get it going. Again, still think first game, first preseason. So I think we'll see that evolve as time goes on. Looking for it to evolve. Now, is my brother Mazdak is the CWall chaplain on here? I think I saw him make a comment. Here's why. I'm going to jump to the wide receivers. I remember a while back, Mazdak pointed out that wide receiving coach Hostler, really was not impressed with he could just feel it. He could just tell in a wide receiving press conference that the wide receiver coach, he just was not impressed with the wide receiver group. We know that the team has brought in several wide receivers earlier this week. So I'm like, okay, obviously there is a problem. And obviously they are really feeling some type of way about this wide receiving unit. And they are not so happy about that. Not so much of, okay, it's going to take time for them. Clearly, the coaching staff isn't dead set on this wide receiving core. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm really anxious to see kind of what happens this week, because I still think that, and we got to say what's up to our 85 South family. What's up? You know, it's going to take the while. I'm just going to jump and say it's going to take a while for the offense to mesh. It is. But don't turn the ball over, which they did not. Gives the way that they're doing things, the defense performed at such a high level that they gave the team a chance. That's what they're going to have to do. A lot of this is going to rest on the shoulders of the defense, because the offense, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like the offense didn't score any points. They still scored, right? But the defense played at such a high level, they kept the team in the game. They kept the Washington offense on the field, Philly off. When Philly was on, Carson Wentz was on the ground. So that's all you can ask for, is a chance. Because you have to think of it like this. It's at least how I think about it. When you're not dealing with a team that's been on the field playing against another team, then what you have to do is, okay, we got to get the ball back, because now that's giving them more opportunities. Whether you call it practice, it's practicing, essentially, because they didn't have any preseason games. But since it's a real regular season game, let's run these plays again. Let's open up the playbook some more. Let's see what we can do to make things mesh and gel, because that's the only opportunity they're going to get to do that. So if the defense is in a situation where they're going to absolutely tear Philly's O-line up because they got their starters out on injuries, that's what needs to happen. And that's what we saw. We saw a team that capitalized on the opponent's weaknesses. That's what you gotta do. As excited as I was about that defense, let's also just know that they still have a really tough time covering tight ends. So I'm concerned about that myself, because some of these teams got some dynamite tight ends. They've got to figure that out, and I have some comments about that. I mean, let me go back to the defensive line, because clearly that's what everybody is here for, right? We're all here for, because the defensive line, I mean, my goodness, okay? Defensive line, let's say 8 sacks, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. Can we shout out Ryan Kerrigan? And I already know what Sherrod is going to say. He's a $12 million backup. But you know what? You know something. Didn't he? And we can all say, let's just all say this, because I don't think I've said his name yet this show. But we already called it. We already knew this, that Chase Young is such an impact player. He is going to make that line elevate. Everybody's going to eat now, because now you have somebody. It's the pass rush is in full effect right now. Were there instances where I still saw some folks out of position? Yes. But again, we saw adjustments being made. We saw adjustments being made. And I could not have been happier for Ryan Kerrigan. He is now the franchise's all-time sacks leader. First time in his career getting NFC Defensive Player of the Week. We're not talking about the NFC East Defensive Player. The NFC Defensive Player of the Week. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Ryan Kerrigan is going to thrive in this defense, as he should. As he absolutely should. And I can't wait. I'm so excited to see it. I'm so excited to see it. I don't know. You know, I'm still worried about the secondary. I saw somebody say something about Troy Apke, and I just, you know, just let me be a little bit on Troy Apke, because I don't like what I saw. Now, did he play a little bit better in the second half? Yes. I mean, everybody did. But we just gotta, I don't know. And here's why I got worried. And we're going to move to the Cardinals. Because DeAndre Hopkins and Larry Fitzgerald play for the Cardinals. So who's covering them? This is why it is so important. And we've seen a Ron Rivera defense thrive at this. If you got your front, if your front is getting all the pressure needed on the quarterback and covering the middle, then that is going to help your corners thrive. That is what's going to help. Because I don't know. It's just, I just don't know what to say. I got full confidence in that line. Full confidence. I think we will see, hopefully, a big game continue in that middle for Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Matt Ioannidis as well, to keep and dominate the middle early in the game on Sunday. So I'm looking at all of those things. John had a bold prediction, and we're going to jump to bold predictions in a moment, of, you know, Kyler Murray. He not going to be as fast. He not going to be able to hurry, you know, and scramble as much as he did this past week against the 49ers. And I agree with that. I'm sure you all have heard, you know, it was reported out of practice that the team was simulating, you know, a Kyler Murray ran offense. Kyle Allen in the position of a Kyler Murray. So I like that. I was happy to hear that. And what Kernan is saying here is exactly right. They played with good technique. That's good. This past Sunday, we saw good technique. Once they settled in, they got good technique. I was proud. I was proud of them because we saw the adjustments being made, because they was getting tore down in the first half. And I was like, here we go again, y'all. But I think if they continue to, if we see a lot of what we saw last week, getting to the quarterback, Kyler Murray is little, he's fast, then we'll see a different type of game from the Cardinals. Because we already know that, you know, L. Fitz and DeAndre Hopkins, they can get loose. Absolutely get loose. And to Francis' some point, yeah, Kyler Murray is much faster than a Carson Wentz. But, you know, the defense, they can't let Murray scramble. They can't miss those sacks. They got to get to him. And yeah, to your point, I was like, yeah, I saw, you know, they're simulating Kyle and simulating Murray. Okay, that's cool. I like where they were trying to head with that, but it's you know, it's going to be good. All the games should be tough. You don't sleep on any opponents. You never go to sleep on any opponent, because that's just not what you do. You have to be prepared, and you have to be able to adjust, because much like Washington came up from 17 down and beat Philly The same thing can happen to Washington. The Washington can be in the lead, and then the opponent can come back and adjust to their ways and end up beating them. So it's a lot that can happen. And another thing, again, not just with the adjustments, let me say this, it's part of the adjustments conversation. It's playing 60 whole minutes matters. Playing 60 whole minutes. I mean, the Cardinals came from behind. You know, when I went through that film at the beginning of the 49ers Cardinals game, I'm like, how on earth did the 49ers end up losing this game? And what I truly believe is that the 49ers, they got gassed. They got tired running behind Kyler Murray. They got tired. He wore them out. Seriously, that's what I think. And that's where the preseason stuff counts, and where it matters. It's like, wow, they really could have used those preseason games, because they clearly got worn out. Because if you look at the first half of that game, there's no way you would have guessed that the Cardinals would have come back and beat them. But they absolutely did. Okay. Injury report time. Injury report. So here's interesting with injury report. Remember, we were just talking a moment ago about capitalizing on the opponent's weaknesses. So on the Cardinals injury report, their starting center, Mason Cole, he is out. He's got a hamstring injury. He did not participate in practice yesterday or today. And their backup tight end. So, well, not backup, but, starting number 2 tight end, Max Williams. Max. He did not practice yesterday or today either. He's out with the ankle injury. So I think Sherrod already addressed this in the comments. I believe that yes, Thomas Davis Sr. and Kendall Fuller, both full participants in practice this week. They are full participants in practice this week. Limited is Cole Holcomb. So we're looking at a Washington football team, y'all, that might be at full force on Sunday. Full force. How y'all feeling? Y'all still there, Washington football fans? Y'all still with me? Are y'all still with me? Okay. Now, let's get to y'all bold predictions. Bold prediction time. And if you haven't already submitted your bold predictions, please do so in the comments. I will try to get to as many as I possibly can. So, George Roses, and George is actually a top fan of CWall Sports and Entertainment page. What's up? Hey, 24-20. Washington win. Jackie Cook said we are beating the Cardinals. John Adams, this is what you said about Kyler Murray. You said Kyler Murray won't be as mobile as some might think. Washington football team will win 17-10. Kevin Upafly Lee said they're giving us 7. I'm taking it. I expect a close one. Kim Perry says I pick us to win on my football pool. That's good. I think you'll be good. Leon, let me see. Terry McLaurin, 3 touchdowns, 150 yards. I think that's a good one. I like that one. Let me see. Theo Alexander, 28-21. Harry Smith Jr., I see your comment here. I got swept with 2 sacks. Okay, Mike Lyles, you're looking for one of our corners to have their second pick. Okay, we gotta try to keep track of these predictions, because I want to shout y'all out when they happen. Okay, when they happen. Cameron Mingo, you back at it with another bold prediction that Chase Young will sack Kyler Murray 3 times and force a fumble. Okay. Kevin Williams said if our front 4 gets at Murray, we got a chance to be 2-0. Absolutely. I love it. The originator says Haskins doesn't get sacked this week. I absolutely think the O-line is going to be ready to rumble. I think so. I think they're going to be ready to protect their quarterback. I'm with you on that one. Chris Childs, I think I missed some of yours. I have our defense building on its momentum and being hard to stop. This will slow the Cardinals down scoring-wise, and they will try to exploit our secondary. I wholeheartedly see that happen. I wholeheartedly see the attempt at exploiting the secondary for sure. But as many have said, if that front defense is on point, It's going to be hard to do that. Lee Evans, I see you with the secondary with 2 picks. They're going 2 picks last week, 2 picks this week. I'm with it. I'm with it. Randall, I see you Sweat with 2 sacks. Okay, Harry Smith, Dwayne Haskins with a rushing touchdown. Listen, you guys are talking about, oh, Mazdak, 300-yard game for Dwayne. Ooh, 300 yards? I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Seriously, I would love to see it. And like Tina, you said, why not us? Another locker room speech from Haskins any given Sunday, 24-10, Washington football team. Fernika is saying we'll see Barber with 2 touchdowns. We're going to get that run game going, and they're going to be victorious yet again. Wouldn't that be something, y'all? Because let's all be honest. If we're thinking about this very objectively, is this a game that you believe that the Washington football team can win? I'm asking a serious question. Is this a game? Take your fandom out of it. Thinking very objectively. Is this a game that you believe the Washington football team can win versus the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday, 4:05 p.m. Eastern time, because they're going out west? Do you think? Seriously. I do. I absolutely do. I absolutely believe that this is a game that they can win. If we do all of the things, I said we, like I'm going out there too. If they do all of the things that we discussed earlier, absolutely. Absolutely, it's a game they can win. Absolutely. So, Johnny Leon said, yes, 28-27. Ooh, a nail biter. You projecting a nail biter. A nail biter. Woo. You guys, guess what else happened? We made it another Thursday night together, talking about all of our favorite DC sports. Listen, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in, as you always do. You all are tremendous. You're smart. Y'all got it going on about these DC sports teams, and I truly enjoy the conversation with you all when you join me on Coaching from the Couch on Thursdays. So listen, you guys, please continue to be safe. All right? Wash your hands. Shout out to all the essential workers. Hand sanitizer. Everything. Clorox, fly. If y'all got to know what some Lysol is, let your girl know where there's some Lysol, okay? Because I do have some, but I'd like to get some more. Make sure you wear your mask. All of those things that continue to keep yourself and your loved ones safe. Please, please, please do it. You guys, we're looking forward to another great weekend, okay? All right? So I will see you guys next week.